AM 970 WSTX.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, St. Croix, St. Thomas, St. John, Virgin Islands, all the way down to Australia. Yeah, we got Roebucks down there too. All the way up to Alaska. Yeah, they did it too. And if you go and check in Kazakhstan and India and all the way over, for sure, in Africa and Denmark, they did it too. But the important thing is, we there, yeah, this morning. Okay. I'm going to give you your individual mics, okay, so that nobody don't have no reason not to be heard, okay? Yes, it should, but so you can get that one. No, you get that one so that.
Okay, that one.
Okay, folks, just bear with us here. We're doing, you know, the Canton and technology. He can't keep still, okay? So give me a mic check, dear Mary.
Good morning.
Okay, sound like you're coming through there.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. So we're here today to talk about the Roebuck Family Reunion, and the reunion that everybody should have as a matter of keeping family together. So yeah, so just because we talking Roebuck and all the connections to Roebuck, think of it as an example, because if you haven't done it with your family in a while, you need to do it. Too much craziness going on out there, cousin liking cousins and thing. You know, been going on since the beginning of time, but you know what I'm saying? Now you have the tools to at least keep it in check.
Good morning, Becky. Good morning to you.
Start off with
audience.
Look at Maren, they're making up a face. Maren, you got something to tell us?
No, I'm just laughing. Hey, some I have heard say when I come back, I'm not coming back as a Roebuck. But I'm coming after a Roebuck.
Okay, all right. Well, I hear that. Okay, so talk to me this early in the morning. Yeah, I got a little thing here that I'm going to do as we talk here as inspiration. Okay, we've got the Roebuck Family Reunion, the last one we had. So it's going to be there just for you to see and the memories and everything. Don't get too distracted in the process, you know. But definitely.
And we have a schedule going that and the latecomers are now coming. So we're almost at 100 participants.
Fantastic. You know that the day you have the function, the 200 gonna be there.
Yes.
And the one with all the food, 400 gonna show up.
I know.
Oh yeah.
But you know, it's kind of hard to try to estimate because we always try to go a little bit over what we actually have for that purpose. So if 100 come.
Well, the first thing, when is the reunion? Let's talk about some dates. Let's get some people, get some last minute people here going to Orbit's looking ticket.
Yes.
It's July 18th to the 23rd.
All right.
And it starts off with a meet and greet, which would be at Cousin Aileen's house. It'll be there. Then on Wednesday the 19th, it's a free day. You know, we don't want to box in everybody that every day you have to be with us, even though we would love it. But people need a free day.
So we starting out at Solitude, you know.
Solitude,
We got Roebucks coming from Australia, and you're going to tell them at Cousin Aileen's house?
If they don't know who Cousin Aileen, Aileen Roebuck is, they live in Solitude.
But when they pull up their GPS, they're going to have Cousin Aileen's house.
In Solitude.
Solitude, right.
Solitude.
We'll put a marker.
There'll be a marker. There'll be some balloons or something there.
St. Croix Big or no? St. Croix Big. They'll be in Frederickston looking for you.
But we'll have some balloons or something so people will be able to see at least mark.
And we do have the banner from last year, and we upgraded it to give the date. So that banner, we're hoping to put it up.
Okay, fantastic. All right. So I see you got a slew of events going on. So we start out with the meet and greet, and then we have the free day. Or the cruise and crawl or free day?
Well, cruise and crawl, because I don't know if everybody's going to be doing the cruise and crawl.
Well, I think what we got to do is...
I want to do it, though.
Okay, we got to call it. Okay, it looked like they stopped ringing. Let me see. Good morning. Reflections, Roebuck Family Reunion.
Yes, this is Roland Roebuck from Washington, D.C.
Oh, God. Good morning, cousin.
Good morning, Rolly.
I am more than glad to hear my familia organizing this big event. So, first of all, I want to thank the organizers. I want to thank all those folks that have been doing our sort of fundraising for this event. And the Washington Roebuck posse will be heading down there to have a great time. But seriously, I really admire the work of all the folks to make sure that we continue this great tradition. And we must also thank our cousin Canton for ensuring that the information is disseminated and our cousins, friends, and everybody else can attend this big event, because we don't want crashers coming in.
You know, I tell you, everybody gonna be a Roebuck, Mr.
Hey, they want to get the Roebuck discount, but I know that Maren has a list of the people that paid.
Okay, Rolly.
We don't accept food stamps.
Oh, God.
Oh, Lordy, me, man.
Listen, audience, please. He's just joking.
All right. So how are things coming along? Just share with me a little bit. Wow.
Everything is going along really well, Roland. We have a tight schedule, and we also been invited to try to do something with Come Home to St. Croix. There's 2 events on that venue that I think you would fit in, but I'll send you an email on it and let you decide if you can do it or not, okay? But I think it's right up your alley.
Right.
But yeah, we have everything pretty much, under control. There's no major issues, or no issues really going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everything's been running real smooth.
Really well, and we're all working well together. And we have some champions that we really have to give kudos to, but they're not they don't like that kind of thing, so we won't put it out there. But the people who are behind with this planning, they've really stepped up to the plate, and they're going full force. And I know you'll be proud of some of these younger ones that are taking up the mantle. And
So that's great, because and this one I'm taking what I call a low prophylactic, and allowing the younger generation to truly take over, because they are the ones that need to acquire the experience to continue, this important tradition.
Yes.
I'm
that's
hoping
true.
that the folk from St. Thomas, if they are listening, because we have a whole bunch of folk over there
Yes, we do.
that are members of the family, and we should encourage them, not encourage, but they should show some level of motivation to come over and spend, at least either a day or something with us, because many of them I do not know personally. I see some of them, on Facebook, etc. But our neighbors from, like I said, Puerto Rico and St. Thomas should make the effort to come over and, give us a little hug so we could know,
Who
Most,
they are.
And
most definitely.
I'd like to interject something at this point. I think reunions are very important. I went to school in the South, and one thing I admired, how the families, it was important to have a reunion. My mother used to say what happened is people in the South truly remembered slavery, and these reunions were a means of coming together. I mean, there are times that you're going to disagree with family members, but in the end, you're still family. So it's important that we come together. And like Doug said earlier about, we don't want cousin dating cousin, marrying cousin,
Yeah, because you know why, right? Because the babies come out looking horrible.
I love his subtle sense of
I know. Yes, subtle. Okay.
But I think it's very important that
because the kids come out looking like insects, because people don't know exactly who related to whom. So family reunions are very, very good because they educate us
Exactly.
respect to our connections, who's related to who, et cetera, et cetera. But one thing I must say for the folk that have been doing all the research, we know who is family, who is even faking to be Roebucks. And we have a few of those in the island, but I'm not going to mention the names.
All right.
They know who they are, and they know their bootleg, and they know that we know who they are, but, you know, we want to keep it sane.
Yeah.
But seriously, another point. One of the things that I think is very critical, and Halima was telling me about it the other day. She said, Daddy, you have a will? And I said, a will? So you trying to kill me already and keep my land? She said, no. We're trying to avoid confusion because some of my friends, the parents are not writing down the last wishes, and it causes a lot of confusion. So
That's true.
the reason why I'm saying that our elder folk, especially those over 60 and 70, should really concentrate on writing down the last wishes in order to avoid issues related to confusion, fighting, et cetera, et cetera. So if we can interject that particular piece in some of the lectures or some of the things that we may do, I think it would be very, very important.
Yeah, well, I going to modify that a little bit. All our young people, them over 60, you need to write a will.
That's a good point.
Thank you, Dougie.
All right.
I'm not in that category with you, Roland.
Look, I don't want to monopolize, but I really wanted to thank you guys for the great work. You make us proud, and I'm looking forward. You know, Sylvia's coming down too, so we're looking forward to having a great encounter. We got people coming from Australia. We got people coming from Denmark, etc. So, is all of you guys should be feeling extremely proud for the great work that you have done. So, I will leave you because Sylvia has a whole list of things that I have to do around the house and the yard. So, take care. We love you, and we look forward to having a great time.
Love you too.
All right,
Roland.
bro. Love you
Looking
too.
forward to seeing you. And
All right.
Thank you, Canton. Bye-bye.
Roland,
Yes.
One last thing.
one last thing. Check your email, please. I sent you an email and you didn't respond.
Oh, the one on the, there is a package or something, right?
Right. Okay.
Okay, yeah. I
Okay.
spoke with Sylvia. So it hasn't arrived as of yet. So as soon as I
think
get it, I'll
Saturday.
send it down.
I think
Okay.
Saturday.
All right.
Okay.
Take care.
Thank you,
Okay,
Roland.
good,
Have a
good.
good day. Love to Sylvia.
All right. Enjoy the rest of the show. Bye.
Thanks.
All right. And if anybody ever said that WSTX is not a community-minded station, you know what they like.
That's true.
All right? You heard it here, straight out of WSTX. Roland weighing in, my son. I'm telling you, the unofficial ambassador for anybody, including Roebucks. I was there in the news.
Yeah,
Trying to
yeah.
give big
And-
people
yeah.
competition.
And so it leaves another thing about reunions, it leaves a nice legacy.
It does.
We need to really look at that, leaving legacies behind.
Yep, and you know, and I do know he could be a little bit long-winded. I know I got to try and keep him in check and everything else.
We
But
do.
but we have it for the record on the video from the last one, so we're gonna make sure
Yes,
that all the descendants get a chance
Thank you,
to
Dougie.
to how shall I say, savor it.
Thank you, Doug. That's wonderful.
All right, good. Well, we're going to take a little break here in a minute, and then we're going to come back and talk some more about the schedule here for the Roebuck Family Reunion. Doug going to run his mouth less and let his guests run the show. All right, so we'll see you in a minute.
AM 970 WSTX.
All right. Dun, 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 dun. Oh yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Go Roebuck. Dun, 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 dun. Hey. All right. Yeah. When we left, we had talked a little bit about the schedule with the meet and greet on the 18th, and the cruise and crawl or free day on the 19th. I just want to say for the folks out there to hear this cruise and crawl thing. Well, you got enough Santa P and thing out there crawl. You know, what do you mean by cruise and crawl? Okay, so I just want to be clear. Okay. And cruise and crawl, you know, we get together either in a group or multiple groups, and basically you go downtown, go from establishment to establishment, have a little libation, a little something to eat, you know what I'm saying? And you go from place to place, and you enjoy life, enjoy each other's company in the process, and this is how we do it, and it's good. Because we're getting folks out into the community, into the business establishment. So there's a spin-off for the businesses also here. And as I'm saying, this is an example, proof of process for other families to do. We'd love to hear about more family reunions going on. All right.
And the other aspect of that, like we were saying a minute ago, the people who are not from this are leaving us because so many things, you know, new businesses pop up here and there, but it gives us an opportunity to see what's out there, you know, and then when they have a free day, they can go and remember what they saw, go purchase something, you know, support the community.
Okay.
So it's got a double purpose.
Yep. Fun, and consolidating and bonding, cementing, binding family, however you put it together, so families stay together.
That's right.
All right. Okay, so that's a 19. What we got going on after that?
We have on Thursday the 20th, the beach day at Kramer's Park, and to me this is one of my more favorite days. I'm just a water person, but it also gives people from the States who don't have access to beautiful beaches that we have here in St. Croix. Kramer's Park has been around, oh my goodness, I have pictures of me being a baby on Kramer's Park, and we're not going to discuss the age issue. Let's just say I've enjoyed many years at Kramer's Park. And it's a fun day. Even, you know, you get to kind of unwind and just enjoy. We're going to have a DJ, so you have local music, just, you know, music that everybody can enjoy and dance to.
And the huge barbecue pit coming back.
Oh, yes, there's going to be plenty of food. A lot of food. Plenty of food.
All right.
What I love about it is that a lot of the local family members, they tend to cook a lot of the more local dishes that you find here that you won't find somewhere else. And to me, that's one of the best parts of it all. Yeah, you got the water, you got the the beautiful beach, but the food that comes from family is amazing.
All right.
We have some really good cooks in this family.
Oh yeah, that I know. That I know.
You know, we got some really good cooks in this family.
All right. So, you know, I want to say for folks out there, we talking about this Roebuck Family Reunion. Roebuck, in the case of this reunion, is a hub. It's all kinds of names. Some of them will surprise you. Okay? So surprise you. Cause you think Canton, my grandmother on father's side was the Roebuck connection for us, but you got all kinds of names out there. I got my cousin Patrice, and she got her own set of names out there. I got my cousin Neil, you know, and you get the grandchildren, and I call a few of them now. I don't want nobody to cuss me, because me mention them now. But, okay, I can't mention all of them because it's so much.
And I think we covered that before too, because the list is huge.
It is.
You know, and we even in the span we have Espinosas is another group. We
Todman.
We got Moorheads.
So we go into a lot of families.
Yeah, a lot. You all call the names. I can't keep up, you know.
Listen, I don't.
Yeah, but anyhow.
Some we might not be able to call.
You know. I thought about a song, but I'm gonna say it when we off here, okay? Because I don't want nobody to feel no way. But if we're family, we're family.
We're family, that's right.
And we gotta do the things to bind family together, and the family reunion is that vehicle.
And we have to bring the little ones because they need to know each other.
Oh yeah.
You know, I'm not familiar with a lot of them. Maren is more familiar with some because she works Well,
Well,
she's retired
I'm
now.
retired. Thank you.
You retired from that work.
From that work.
You're into the other work now.
But-
The enjoy life work.
Yeah, so she's been in the schools and more familiar with some of the little ones, but they need to know each other.
That's
you
true.
know, and this is one way for them
Very
to
true.
get to that point.
Well, I remember one night I went to Villa Morales, and they had some young people down there dancing, and somebody said, "You know who that girl there is, right? Don't watch her too hard, you know. That's Raymond's daughter." Okay. And it's like, I'm saying, I would have never known, but I wasn't watching her. No confession to be had here today.
But you know, sometimes you find yourself
Oh,
looking
yeah.
at a person, and it's not that you're interested in any kind of way, except that they look so familiar that that person could look like a family.
Yep.
You know, because everybody's got a look
Yeah,
that you
those
can
eyes.
find.
Right.
You're right, Mary, because I was in
Yeah.
Fredericksted, right? Maren and Tanasha, and this man kept looking at me, and I'm like, what you looking at me for? So I said, you know me? What you looking at me for? He said, you look like you should be related to me. You look like somebody related to me. I said, yes, I'm a Roebuck. He said, I'm a Canton. He said, see? I said, no.
Yeah, it seems like everywhere I go, somebody is like, "Who your mother? Who your father?" You know, so I get pointed out all the time.
And she'll get pointed out for Schuster, because the Schuster
Yeah,
is another
Schuster.
segment
Exactly,
of the family.
Hendrix, all of
Yeah,
these
that's
connections.
true. That's
Yeah,
true.
You know.
Hendrix, yeah.
And that's why everybody got to come on out to this beach party, man. They
Listen,
got to
walk-
come on
Walk
out.
with your family tree.
You know, exactly.
Walk with your family tree.
Exactly, because this is how you do it.
That's true.
This is how you do it. You don't want a situation where you got big fight going on and come to find out a family fighting, family over some little stupidness, you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
Exactly.
right.
That's very
Which,
true.
by the way, family. Okay, I understand that St. Croix is the premier location in the world that, in terms of specializing in holding a grudge. Okay, if it had a doctoral program in holding a grudge, it would be centered here in the Virgin Islands. Okay, look, we ain't want that kind of degree
No.
because things are happening so quick.
Exactly.
And I want you to have it today. Don't plan for tomorrow.
That's right.
Make sure you keep your family close. Even if you can't stand any one of them, keep them close. Because to your family,
In the
and ain't
end,
nobody
that's
going to be
that
more
root,
important to you than family.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes you could have a argument with somebody, but it doesn't last, and don't let somebody else come between. You know,
Exactly.
this is our thing. We'll grudge. You know, we'll kiss and make up later, but right now we're grudging.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So definitely Thursday, July 20th at
At Kramer's
Kramer
Park.
Park. Do I get to do my show that Thursday?
Oh,
Of course.
Okay. All right. And then I'll come to
Tanasha
the
just
beach
said
after.
something that's important.
Yes,
Say that
it's
again,
at Cabana
Tanasha.
1, starting at 10 a.m.
Okay. Good.
Until
Until. All right. Good. Sounds like it's going to be lots and lots of fun. All right.
Friday's another huge day. And the list is growing. I was telling Tanasha this morning, I think we need another boat. You know, like Jaws. I think we need another boat.
Yes.
But that's the Buck Island Day. And that is, the boat leaves at 10. And not crucian time. It's 10. So one of the things we're doing is, I've already spoken to the same gentleman that provided transportation the last time. And he's agreed, so I just have to follow up with him and let him know who will need transportation.
All right. Good.
You know, since we drive on the left side of the road, we don't want people coming and getting confused, getting into
Right.
accident. Don't want them getting lost, you know, and want them to be at the reunion points.
Well,
So-
if you got 4 spots on that boat going to Buck Island, I think I want to reserve 4. I even walk with my checkbook. Okay? So, all right. But I definitely want to document as well as have a little fun in the process. I haven't been out there in ages. Yeah. I haven't been out there in ages. And, you know, it's like the other day, you know, my sister Denise is here visiting. And she took Damari down to Gallows Bay. And it's like the fellas in Gallows Bay, well, how come you ain't bringing down here sooner? And it's like, we just because we did right up the hill, but sometimes you get so busy. You just have to make an appointment that say, I'm going to do it.
Right.
I'm doing
You have to take that time
Exactly, exactly, you know.
And he's so open to learning so much. He needs that exposure to keep him busy.
And connectivity, because that's our neighborhood right down the hill.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So that's and the snorkel gear is going to be provided.
Okay.
We're gonna snorkel the trail, and sandwich stuff, not big food. They advise us to limit the coolers because that will take up space that somebody else can be on. So.
If you can't fit in your backpack, you're in trouble.
Right. So we were, I've been toying with it, but we're going to have a meeting to discuss what we're going to do as
now,
far as
suppose if somebody want to go, but they don't snorkel.
They don't have to.
You don't have to.
Yeah. Yeah. You could just, hey, it's a beautiful island.
Yeah, it is.
And there's people that wouldn't want to snorkel.
Yeah.
But, just so you know, you don't have to worry about bringing your own gear because that too will take up some room.
Right.
So
that's
I'll
good
clarify that.
And can I do a little plug on the snorkeling? For those who have never snorkeled, who would like to snorkel, Buck Island is one of the world premier snorkeling locations.
Yes, it is.
Just a little plug for them there, because it has one of the what is it, a national monument? And it's a U.S. national monument, and like I said, it's one of the best beaches to snorkel in. So if you've never seen it, YouTube it. It's there, beautiful.
And if you're if you're adventurous, you can hike over to the north side of the island. There's a trail. All you gotta do is follow the trail, and you can't get lost. Go over to the north side. There's a platform. You can take a rest before you start the hike back down.
Okay. All right. Okay, it's a lot going on, a lot of fun, and you mentioned that it's there and it's world renowned. And we take so much for granted. If you can't fit on the boat to go to Buck Island and you feel slighted some kind of how, I'm going to give you another angle, okay? Which is... one of the kayaking tours for the bioluminescent bay.
Oh, yeah.
That's another thing that will be an alternative to doing
That's
that.
something they can do on their free day.
Definitely. Or if they can't make the boat to go on Friday, that they could plan it for the Friday, do it that way.
We could have a list, just like you said, of alternative. Maybe we could do a list for them of different activities that they can't do this. Maybe they could do this.
That's right. Yeah, all kinds of good stuff to do.
That's a good point.
That's a good idea. Yeah. I've been on that, but I didn't think of it to,
Well, the joke of it is, right, we live here with this stuff and we just take it for granted. Some friends of mine came from St. Thomas and looking for something to do, and that's how I end up out there.
Yeah.
And it's like one of those things with like, how come me reach before? Yeah. Okay,
so then after Friday, we have Saturday, and that is in the afternoon is pretty much free. You want to get yourself ready for the banquet that evening.
Get dolled up, get your hair done. That's why the beach is on the Thursday. Because we don't want people, some people say, oh God, I can't get my hair messed up. And then so we accommodated that too.
Even if you go to Buck Island, you got Saturday afternoon to rest and recoup.
You all need to put a list of hairdressers and salons with this thing. Okay?
You know what? Because I'm going to take that project on.
Right, because after folks go to the beach, that way they know where to go. They can make their appointment and everything else, and they can come all dolled up how they want to.
That's true.
Your new
hairdresser.
Evelyn, she's very good.
All right. Yeah, man. We got to look out for these folks. We got to make sure that they don't have no reservations about going to the beach.
Okay. Then Sunday,
No, we
Oh, we're
starting-
still on Saturday?
No,
We're on Saturday?
we just starting
Oh,
Saturday.
Yeah.
We just starting Saturday. You moving
we're
too
still on
fast.
Saturday.
All these people coming here and the time moving too fast already. You trying to rush them through their vacation and good time? Oh yeah. All right. No, we into Saturday because we got
The big day.
a big day,
That's a
folks.
big day.
Of course, you're gonna have the time early in the day to yourself, right? Basically.
Yeah.
But that evening, that's when all the hairdresser work and everything will
Yeah,
shine.
and the makeup.
Okay? All right? And I, folks, all our Roebucks and relatives, okay? The stilettos is for the banquet, not for the beach.
Walk with some flats.
No, but I've been to some beach function. I see people there in stilettos, and I want to know,
Yes,
like,
Dougie, I
okay,
agree.
style? No. But anyhow, so we got a time for the stilettos. It's Saturday night.
Saturday night stilettos.
Yes. If your ankles could hold it.
If your
You
ankles
may
could
want to
hold it.
bring some flats along
I tell
too.
you, the things people have got you for style, my son. Anyhow,
So it's gonna be a elegant affair, island elegant, and we already have that reserved. We have it. We have the menu set, and we have something for everyone. So if you're diabetic or if you don't, not a meat eater, we're gonna have you covered. Then we have dancing by the poolside until midnight.
all right.
Okay.
And then we have some door prizes we'll give away.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Maureen is
Fantastic.
working on the door
Yeah.
prizes.
Now it won't be a trip around the world. A nice door prize.
There'll be nice
that
things.
they can
Yes,
appreciate.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, it's good. Are we gonna have the usual family rivalry represented during the banquet?
Doug,
Yeah.
you the one that started that.
I would say friendly rivalry.
Friendly
I
rivalry.
think they enjoyed that though.
Oh yeah, they did. Oh yeah, it was.
And
it
then
was
while
all
I
good.
was looking at the video, see why I made notes. We mentioned all these great uncles and grandfathers and stuff, the Beachies, the Washies. But we didn't mention Jarvis, and I felt so bad because that was California and they traveled so far, and we forgot to mention Jarvis.
Oh, I didn't even remember that.
Well,
So
they-
this
we
time we're
mentioning
gonna
them
have some
today and Saturday and in between now and then because I know what it is like to get this soon because you
I
ain't
know.
mention somebody.
And when I heard that on the video, I said, "Oh, no, we forgot Jarvis."
I didn't
And I've been
remember
doing
that.
some good research on him. He was instrumental in the formation of the Lutheran Church of the Transfiguration in New York. When a lot of Virgin Islanders, left and went to New York back in the 20s, they established that church, and he was a major player. And I was able to find newspaper articles where he's listed, him and
Fantastic.
his son. So there's some good history in the family, even if they didn't stay here and they went away, they've done some pretty good things.
Well, we got to get it to the young people so that they will know,
They will
and,
know.
and pass it on.
Yeah,
Because
that's
we have a rich history, but if you don't know it, you're poor.
Right,
That's
right.
true, Doug. You are.
Yeah.
You are.
And in 95 and in 2013 we had a historic day, a day where you're going to learn something, right, about the island, the family history. This year there was so much going on that I just couldn't put something together in my head. So what I've decided to do, and I think besides all the, running around having fun, sun, sand, sea, all of that, which is good. It's good because it brings us together, but we also need to learn something. So what I've done, I have the family tree, and in Ancestry you can create a record of each individual based on your notes or your input, the research that you put in, and it generates a report. So I've been going through it, trying to clean it up, edit it out, and I'm thinking that what I'm going to do is make copies, and it's quite extensive, and I want to provide the sources so that anyone who wants to follow in my footsteps can, which I strongly advise from past experience, if you get something from somebody, you research it to verify it. So I'm going to provide the sources, and that way you can have that information. So at the same time, while we're not doing something physical like before, where we had that big family tree at Whim, and in '95 we had a day at St. Croix by the Sea, remember? And George Tyson came in and he gave a history of the island, and we did a bus trip and toured the places that were significant to the family. So this time I'll just provide based on research that I've done, and I encourage anybody or who reads it and want to give an input, or if they see something that needs to be changed, let me know, and as long as I can verify it, then I will change it.
Yeah. Well, that's great, because I hear all the talk about, let's say, Granny Vickers and this Simpson and the Arnold and the James and the Hardcastle as being family, but until you get a chance to actually see how the lines run, and that's an endeavor in and of itself. But we have to pepper people with a little bit of it every now and then, because hearing it, especially the children, just hearing it, the curiosity comes up later, and next thing you know, you find the one that's really interested and jump in and do what you're doing.
And we are with the Hardcastles, and it's close. And even Governor Farley, Derek Hodge, they're on that family tree. And it's good to know the branches, and it's not just the Roebuck side. Everybody had a mother and a father. So who are those people? Because they were significant. They are significant, and they were significant, those who have passed in one way or another. So it's important to know.
Yeah, and sometimes you discover little knickknacks of information. Like I have this one ancestor, and her nickname was Grung Dove. She was a Petrus because she was so short. Yes. And all kind of little things that you pick up along the way, and it's all good. It's all good.
And then, sometimes people get offended, but you have to let people know sometimes not everybody you related to may be on your tree. I saw somebody got really offended when one of our cousins was doing research, and the name wasn't there. The person's related, but sometimes the name, like for instance, my father knew who he was related to, and some of the people who he's related to, may not be on our tree on the Roebuck side. So people sometimes get offended, and I think that's why stories are very important. Pass on those stories.
Well, the reality is it's like school and learning. No matter how much you learn, there's more knowledge out there. No matter how much you know about your family, there's more knowledge out there. And you have to tell them this to open their minds and say, well, and this is why we do the little get-togethers and update because you can't know it all.
No,
you can't know it all.
And I think here in the Virgin Islands, we have something that is so unique. You don't find stateside. We have what I call living history. You can walk down streets and you can touch buildings, you can touch trees that your ancestors, you can touch a tree that, I can go somewhere and my mother can point out your grandfather planted that tree, and that tree may be bearing fruit that now people are eating, so that's something that's very important. You can go to a building and say, your family, built this house and it's still there, so we have living
history that we have to share.
And there are a lot of, the younger generations that have no idea that their family helped to build this island, whether it's a Roebuck or anyone else, and you should learn that because it makes you understand how important you are to your community, how grounded you are to your community. For myself, it's one of the reasons why I decided to move here, living stateside almost all my life, I decided it's time for me to come home. Because this is family, not just the people, but the land.
Well, let me just share a little thing here, because I and this is not so much Roebuck as it is St. Croix. You know, when you say bus, people think taxi bus, people think Abramson, people think Vitran, but St. Croix has a history of transportation, and this is transportation. The people who basically were the bus drivers of the day, you know, probably owned their own bus, and they had their own special schedule, and people could put their children on there, and you were under the stewardship of that bus driver to get from point A to point B. I think that's something I got a few people I've been talking to that was giving names, and I want to do that as a recorded, part of a recorded history, because there's so much, and that might just be a little arcane thing out there, but just to hear it and know it.
Yeah,
and
right.
get it on video, so it's there for the future.
And one, like you said, that one of our cousins, Meredith Nielsen, I went to visit his mom, and she's in her 90s now, and we had a discussion, and I was saying I wondered how Washi got Mary from Fredericksburg to come, you know, because back in the 1920, they got married in 1920. But back in those days, that was like going to Europe, you know, from Fredericksburg to Christiansted. And my father said, when you come from Fredericksburg, you don't plan to leave that same day. You spend the night. So I was wondering, and so I voiced that to her, and she gave me the story that, and you know, so I'll narrow it down. But when I found Mary's father and siblings, Mary wasn't there, but she should have been, because she was already born, but he was a widower.
Okay.
And so when I questioned Meredith's mom, she mentioned that her grandmother was Mary's sister. And she mentioned that a bus driver, and off the top of my head, I can't remember his name, but I have it written down. The bus driver brought her grandmother, which was Aunt Henrietta, they call her Aunt Henny. They brought her to Christiansted, and Meredith's mom says she accompanied her and went to visit, and she mentioned it was the bus driver that picked her up and brought her and told her to stay as long as she wanted, that he will come and get her. Like, there was no schedule. They hadn't seen each other since they were children. And so, like you said, the bus driver and his own schedule and stuff, that's a story that you can get into what you're documenting.
Yes, they were an institution in the process, and they have a name and they have a family. So we keep coming right back around to the importance of family reunions. Oh yeah, Roebuck, go Roebuck, go Roebuck. All right.
Church. Y'all forgot about church the Sunday.
No, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there, and hopefully we will walk it.
Oh, Dougie.
I said, but you can't take anything for granted.
You can't.
And that's why we're doing
really
it.
Can.
That's why we're doing it.
You really can. Yeah. And we're going to be honoring those who passed. There were a few who passed since the last reunion, even the one that we honored, Uncle Earl Roebuck.
Yes.
And Roland gave us a good idea of what we can do for that. At first we were thinking just, the people who passed since then. But in the registration, there was a question there as to who would you like to honor or remember. And some were from before 2013. So you don't say no to that. So whatever names we got, we're going to do some little something to let their names show, you know. So yeah, life isn't guaranteed. So we have to, do what we can to preserve and remember.
Yeah, well, one of the things maybe we could do for the banquet is to have a slideshow. Not necessarily with pictures, just names and family relationship, whatever.
That is true.
That could run continuously. That way, it's a conversation piece. It's an idea. You see, if it can get legs or something, or we'll figure out another way to do it. Yeah. But folks, we're talking about the Roebuck Family Reunion coming from the 18th of July through the 23rd. I got a whole bunch of stuff going on. I'm going to take the liberty and do a little recap for family who's out there on the TuneIn radio listening in, and otherwise who on WSTXradio.com listening in. And so that they get it straight from the beginning. The 18th, meet and greet. Okay, that's the time to see some of these faces and the similarities and dissimilarities and crossing points and everything. That's the way you do it, and that's going to be out in at Aileen's house, out there in
Solitude.
Solitude.
Yeah.
You all distract me when you come in the place, but yeah, so out in Solitude, and then that's a Tuesday. Wednesday, you got choices. It's kind of like a free day, and also going to have a crucian crawl, so we can go around and taste some of the unique libations in the place, or maybe the not unique ones. Maybe your Heineken person, that's fine with me. Corona, that's fine with me, but it might have a specialty that you like, whatever. And seeing the place, whether it be Christiansted or across the island. And then, we jump down now to Thursday. Thursday is the family reunion before the banquet, or should I say the family reunion in the middle of the family reunion, because we're going to be at Kramer Park.
Yeah.
And I want to see all of them children running up and down the place, okay? To be able to ask you who that one they be and who they for, okay? But definitely, and if you're playing domino, please don't break down the table, okay? Okay. All right, good. So, I got a young lady that 16 going on 26,
Oh, yeah.
and she got to be out there. She got to get to know her family,
That's
okay?
right.
I don't want no daddy. I want to introduce you to so and so.
That can
And his
happen.
family.
Daddy will have a connection.
All
That
right.
almost happened.
Yeah.
Somebody called and asked me, hey, I'm not going to say the name. They said, Maren, Uncle Turi got a granddaughter named Lisa. I said, yeah. They said, what? I said, you ain't made the move.
He
Well,
was
I
told-
was going to.
All right. Saved by the bell, huh? Okay, and then Friday we got the Buck Island trip, as well as other things going on, bowling and possibly other things like the bioluminescent park. And Saturday you got the morning, afternoon free, but just plan that's the time after you've been to your hairdresser, your pedicure, and all this other stuff. You're coming out to the banquet to have a good time. See folks from Alaska all the way down to the down under in Australia, from here all the way around to Russia and Denmark. Okay, and then Sunday, for all the sins you may have committed in between, we have an opportunity for repentance. Okay, we're going to be worshiping at the Lord God of Sabbath Lutheran Church in Christiansted here, and definitely we got some contact information we're going to be passing out in a minute for those who may be hearing and saying, well, I didn't know, but we're going to make sure you got contact. So we're going to take a break. When we come back from the break, we'll close out with a few, whatever few words you have in terms of this whole thing. And definitely, we got any follow-up, the door will be open next Thursday. Okay. All right?
AM 970, WSTX, Christiansted, Frederickstead, and the Virgin Islands.
All right, Family Roebuck Reunion, and we're trying to start it from now, the way things going on here, because it's like, Lordy B, we need about 10 shows
I know.
just to get ready. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
It's gonna be good. I'm feeling very positive
Me
about
too.
everything. Yeah.
And I've
Okay.
been praying. I may not go to church the way I should, but I've been praying on
Hey,
it.
my father used to say, you don't have to be in church to pray. If you can't
That's
make
right.
it, go in your closet, in
I
your
meditate and I
bathroom,
pray.
in
so.
your bedroom, wherever.
Yeah.
That's right. There
He's
is
gonna
no
hit
box. You
that.
don't have to
And-
think
and-
outside the box.
and
You
you
don't have
know
to
what?
pray outside the box.
Dougie, we have a cousin that's coming who has not been here in 40 years.
Whoa.
She has not been home in
Oh,
40
yes.
years. She called
Carl
Christensen's
Christensen.
sister. She is coming back.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And
She
her-
left here as a young woman and hadn't been back, and then she came back for
Yeah.
something. I don't know what it was, because that's when I first remember meeting her. But she's coming back.
And what's nice, all of his family will be here.
Fantastic.
His two daughters, the granddaughter, his sister, her daughter, her husband.
Well, you see,
He's
folks,
gonna be in his. In
this is
his
why
glory,
this is
yeah.
why I shouldn't misbehave anywhere on St. Croix. Okay, I wouldn't say don't misbehave. I don't want to. I want to go to church with a clean slate. All right, but that's just the way it is. And you think you clear and you got to look out and everything good.
right.
You get home and it's like, what you been doing there? I hear you. All right.
We have a lot of repeaters coming, but we also have some new ones.
Okay.
That and it's funny. Like I've always wondered who or what happened to Granny. Because both our grandmothers were Rebecca's, but for yours and mine and Tanasha, well, she'd be our great grandmother, Rebecca Cox. She had some children that they like, what happened to them, I don't know.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, they're coming. We have two that are coming. And one I just found out last night, he can't come, but he wants to come next year. I said next year.
Yeah, the next. Don't get me nervous.
I said next year.
He'll
You
be-
could come,
he'll
but I
be
don't
a-
know if it'll be a reunion.
Well,
but come.
it'll be a reunion. It'll be a little smaller scale, a little family thing, and we'll all get together to make sure
Yeah.
that he has the time of his life.
Yeah.
That's what we'll
And
do.
One of them, well, three of them, two of them that I know of is right there in Puerto Rico. And they came out of when her daughters left, they went to St. Thomas and Puerto Rico, and then from there they branched off. But it's so funny how you're not, when you stop thinking about them, but then every once in a while, for me, it's like wee hours of the night. That's why I stay up so late. I get these messages. I'm not talking, space
No, I know,
messages.
I know.
People actually contact me,
Yeah.
but I put them through the ringer to find out if you are who you say you are. They got to tell me something I know.
Yeah. Well, just for confirmation, something that just went through my Uncle Turi was in aircraft maintenance in Puerto Rico.
He was the chief mechanic.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Good. For the record, Chief Messi. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All I
33
remember is the
years.
picture of him in his overalls and right there with the cowling off the engine and everything
Right,
else.
right.
That's all I
And
remember.
Carol was the one who got him that job, and he started off as a gopher. Go for this, go for that.
That's right.
And then he didn't know Spanish, but he ended up being very fluent, reading, writing, speaking. And matter of fact, his TV stayed on Puerto Rico's channel. Every time I try to change it, he put it back to Wapa, Wapa TV.
Okay.
So yeah, he went up the ranks, and I still have documents where he was sent to London. So every time a new engine came out, he was sent off to learn about it.
To
and
train, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
so-
fantastic.
Very proud of him. And
Yeah.
then Uncle Harold saved quite a few people in a plane that went down.
Yes.
He dove several times into oil-filled water right there in Puerto Rico. At the time they had the seaplane. It was before their what they have now, but it was the seaplane type of. And the plane went down, and he it's recorded where he dove several times to save some lives.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is all interesting.
Yeah.
You see,
See, and
family
his
reunion.
family, especially his grandchildren, Matter of fact, one of them, I remember long ago my father saying something, but you know, when you're little, you don't, those things don't really stick. But it was when one of his grandsons asked me if I knew about it, so I started researching it. And there's a man, in those days, Pan Am used to have a mechanic on board, just in case. And the person who was documenting all of this was the son of that mechanic. And when I read his report, he had Uncle Harold as being a Puerto Rican. And I said, oh no, St. Croix need this credit. So I wrote to him. Rican Compass. So I wrote to Uncle Harold's grandson and his son, Louis and Terry, and I asked them for a picture of Uncle Harold in his uniform. They sent it to me. They gave me permission to send it to this gentleman to prove this is Harold Roebuck in his uniform, and that he was, you know, born on St. Croix and relocated to Puerto Rico. So it was, and the doctor, one of the people that he saved at the time, was still alive. I don't know if he still is, because he was in his 80s at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, you know.
Okay, lots of interesting stories and history. Okay, and because WSTX, your community-minded station, got a program called Reflections where we record in all of this, we'll be able to put it in the archives and share it with the young people, the not so young people, and the younger.
That's right. And Roland, you do not qualify into the younger.
We also got a plan for when Roland comes. We got a plan for him, because the next reunion will not be in St. Croix.
No, it wouldn't.
All right, well, but that's great too. You know, I look forward to it being someplace else in the context of just exploring and doing something different. You know, maybe we could call it something, you know, the pre-reunion get-together or something. For those psychologically who feel bound that it has to be on St. Croix, we'll call it the pre-reunion get-together.
And then Mary, tell them about the Roebucks in Florida. They're always inviting us to come to their day after Thanksgiving get-together that they have. They've invited us over and over. Maybe next year.
Okay, well,
that
pass that on to me via email.
Okay,
I'm not aware
I sure
of it. So
will.
definitely, me and Damari could go on a little runaway or something.
Because it's for all the Roebuck connections.
Yeah, definitely. All right, good. Okay, well, I'm so glad that you all were able to come in here. Now, if we got family out there and hearing about this for the first time.
Yeah, I got one last night. I didn't know.
Really?
Serious?
Especially if you live here on the island.
Mm-hmm. Let me tell you, when you were in the States, right? Anytime you got a house party or this or that, everybody knew.
Everybody knew.
And then they come home and they turn into soldier crab. They're up in the shell.
Like, you didn't
Okay?
know?
Yeah, you know, even if you just finding out, give us a call. We want you to come. We want all family members to come.
Okay.
And you can reach me at 643-3999.
Yeah, folks.
Maren.
Oh, 513-8914. That's my cell phone. Now, if you don't get me, leave a message and try again. Because my friend Colette tells me she never gets me. So, try again.
By the way, I saw this person doing a little dance there when they were coming across the finish line for the women's race the other day.
I wonder who was that? Who was that? Dougie must know.
Busted is there on Facebook.
It was
All right. And that was a fun event. It was great. It was great. Yeah. Okay. So the Roebuck Family Reunion.
Yeah.
It's a family reunion.
We gotta look for that music too. That
yeah, definitely. All right, and folks, we just wanted to be an example of the friendship, camaraderie, family connection, binding, whatever you want to call it, that you can do too. For your family.
That's
all
right.
right.
That's
So
it's a lot of work, but it's fun work. And if you're doing it with people that you can work with, I mean, we don't always agree, but we come to a consensus, and it's like a majority rule. Or if you could prove your point why it shouldn't be, or whatever, And it's all good.
When
It's all
you're
good.
part of being alive is disagreement.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay,
Right,
problem.
right.
You just don't stay there. You don't move
who wants
on.
to be in the same mindset with
All
everybody
right,
else?
that's
You want a
right.
little, variety.
It's all
And
about
we
the-
had some fun with the fundraisers too. We had the cake sale, the food sale, the soup sale, and
yes.
thank you to everybody out there who helped.
I have
who
one
contributed.
complaint. I didn't do no roast good. Okay?
Oh, sorry about that.
I was so looking since
Next time.
since Brady's gone, you know.
Well, next time in this sense, maybe almost be. Next time
You
in
know.
this sense, you could get it somewhere else.
Yeah.
No.
I miss my Brady's, you know. I just mentioned that, you know.
yes,
The
yeah.
things you
Yeah,
take for granted,
true.
like they're gonna
Always
always
be there.
You know,
right,
I miss
yeah.
my Brady's and that roast goat
Brady's,
on
and the pea
Thursdays.
soup.
That's
Yep.
true.
Oh man.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And like Mary said, thank you for all those individuals out there that supported us in our endeavors, our, food sales and things like that. Thanks a lot from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you.
Yes. And.